Witcher's so done as a massive media franchise, Jed. Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's still going to be the video games. There's still going to be the books. Those seem to be very popular, even at this point. There's a lot of excitement for that. I am very worried about CD Projekt Red's future with the video games, but I'd say as those media properties, those are still potential. They have potential to still be in
But
popularity, but
the
never to the same degree.
massiveness of it is over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The massiveness of it died years ago. It might be reignited with the upcoming Witcher 4, codenamed Polaris. But yeah, the TV show, it barely made a drop in the bucket, even in season 1, compared to what Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt did, the video game. But at this point, the TV series is virtually dead. No one cares about it without Henry Cavill. Liam Hemsworth hasn't been relevant in
Ever?
a decade. Yeah,
Ever?
ever. But I mean,
Ever?
Hunger Games is the one almost relevant thing he had, and that's been over for a decade at this
Yeah.
point. And yeah, there's no saving. And they're constantly making stupid casting decisions, lore changes. Every season they come out, it's like, we heard what you said. You didn't like how far from the books we're going to be. We're going to be closer than ever. And then they're further from ever. And then they're going to do it, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, yeah. And you found so we got the first news that their season 4 is in production,
You
and
want to
they
start with
got
that?
us. Yeah, what's that? So they got season 4, and they say there's a season 5, but isn't it really they just split season 4 off and gave it things, and it's inconsequential.
So yeah, this was the original plan from a long time ago. Originally, they were going to film in, I think, September of last year, and they were going to film seasons 4 and 5 back to back and end the franchise. They just announced again that season 5 will be the end of the series, regardless. But from when that came out, we all knew it was going to be a split season because of how short the filming window was going to be. It's not like they were going to film for a full year, as of what time it would take them to film 2 full seasons of their stuff back to back. They're filming in a normal window. It's still the same amount of time. So it's clearly just a split season. And then the writer strike made it to, all right, we haven't finished season 5 yet. So we're just going to film season 4 now and do 5 later. Then the actor strike happened and they both got delayed. So they're finally going into production for seasons 4 and 5 right now. And they're only going to be in production for a couple months. It's really not going to be anything special. 6 months at the max, I believe. And who cares? Even
I
these articles and these videos got no
I
interaction.
mean, is this even a major outlet reporting this stuff? I mean, nobody's even really reporting
Oh,
this.
this is the Redanian intelligence. They're like the go-to
Okay.
Witcher source.
Oh, okay, okay.
Other sites are reporting on it. This is just they have
Okay.
all the stuff. Like
Okay,
they're the
okay.
ones who they
My
have a
fault.
lot of
This
insider information,
okay,
like with the
okay,
rats that I'm going to come up with in a
okay. Oh,
minute.
yeah, yeah, you just told me this interesting too. So Jed was gonna make me watch the spin-off The Rats. He was gonna make me do it. I was gonna suffer. Uh,
And
but
for
what
those of
happened?
you who don't know, with the rats, it not how it was in the books necessarily, but they were going to do a prequel series about the rats, which is in the Netflix show, a group of gay teenagers who are evil but think they're Robin Hood.
And will be basically mentally and sexually abused Siri.
Yes, in the book, she is sexually assaulted by a woman in the rats who it it's a kind of Stockholm situation where a man is about to sexually assault her, then a woman rescues her and it's like, "Hey, I saved you. Why don't you let me assault you now?" Like it's a messed up situation,
But
and she's
it's supposed to be. Then that's
yeah,
the
it's
thing.
supposed to be,
Yeah,
but they're gonna make it in the show where it's an actual love story
romance. Yeah.
between her and the woman who assaulted her. The missile has been race swapped and will be her gay level in season 4. And if you know the books, that is just awful that they're reframing it. Yes, they do kind of have a relationship in the book for a little while, but it's very Stockholmy. Like I have no other choice but to stay with these people. I'll just put my head down and do what I need to do to survive.
It's an
But
actual story, an actual
Mhm.
character development and a character progression as opposed to, oh, let's just make them gay and happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we actually just got news that the Rats prequel seems to be in trouble, and this article goes into it where we knew that there was some weird stuff going on back, I believe it was in May of last year. They started filming for the Rats prequel, but instead of the 6 months that they had scheduled out for it, they stopped after 2 months. And that was weird. We never really heard why.
Mhm.
People assumed that there was stuff going on with the strikes, but the timeline didn't match up for when those events happened. Now we know what happened. Apparently, some Netflix executives saw some early footage from the rats and decided, God, that looks terrible. We're pulling the plug. And so the the filming was canceled because it looked so bad. Not even just like we need to rewrite it, reshoot it. It's like we're done.
Well,
and so it looks
they
like
can't
this
afford
footage...
to do that kind of shit anymore. They can't afford to reshoot, especially something that's not going to bring in subscribers. The Rats was never going to bring in millions of subscribers to Netflix.
God, no. So the idea right now is they're going to incorporate some of the stuff that they filmed into season 4 as flashbacks. Again, decreasing the amount of filming time that they'll need to do for season 4 and the amount of writing that they'll need to do for season 4. So, yeah, I'm not surprised by this. What's Over the Rats was never going to be good. The one person with the name that was going to be in it was Dolph Lundgren. And Dolph Lundgren's not exactly a relevant actor these days.
I mean, we like him, but, I'm not... it doesn't make me excited to watch it. So
it was on track to be worse than Blood Origin. And for the people who saw that's impressive.
Who was excited for Blood Origin? Nobody. That was one of the weirdest reviewing experiences I've ever had, because I watched it because we were going to watch it, and then I watched it so that I could review it, and it was just, what was this?
Oh, you don't want to see the first Witcher be the Hulk?
No, and
you didn't want that?
No. Oh shit, Dolph Lundgren has cancer?
I didn't know about that.
Oh shit! Wow. Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, he does. I reported on it last year. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, he has cancer.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Cancer, man. F cancer.
He seems like a really good guy. He's wicked smart.
I remember God, it was back when Howard Stern was Howard Stern. Somebody, I forget who the actress was with them. They were talking about him, and she says in a Howard Stern interview, said, Dolph Lundgren, he's such a gentle lover. I remember that interview for some reason.
He seemed like a great guy. He was the one thing I was looking forward to, because I knew he'd do a good job in the Rats. I don't know who he'd be, because he's not Bonnard, because Bonnard's in season 4. But yeah, it's a weird situation with the Rats, but at least it's gracefully over. But I'm glad we're only going to get a few scenes of it versus 8 episodes.
This isn't even the worst thing you stumbled upon in the past couple of days with this stuff.
It is not. Do you want to do the Henry Cavill tweet or the casting news?
Let's go with the casting news, and then we'll go to the tweet, because I think that one it leads to the other better.
Okay, so there's been a lot of casting for seasons 4 and 5 coming out. A lot of it's just whatever. Like, this guy from Game of Thrones is being cast as a very, very small role. Like, in the books, he'd be in one half scene. Mm-hmm. It's weird that they're casting someone as recognizable as the Blackfish, but who knows what their motivations are. They're probably extending that storyline. But in all of this, I caught something, a casting announcement that is a little bit rough. This person, I'm not going to even try to say that, but this girl is being cast as Nimue, which, for those of you who aren't familiar with English mythology, is a real English mythology figure known more commonly as the Lady of the Lake. I'm sure everyone's heard of the
Nimue.
Lady of the Lake.
Nimue.
Nimue. And she is in the Witcher books. That character, Lady of the Lake, is a very, very prominent character, especially in the final book. I mean, the final book's named after her, Lady of the Lake, and she's an important character. In that final book, she is late middle age. She's in a relationship with an ugly man known as the Fisher King, who kind of looks like Harvey Weinstein, at least as described. And she has this really fascinating story. She's in about 150 years after the events of the final book. And she's series lost in space and time at this point. She can't find her way back to her time and her reality. And so in the future, the Lady of the Lake is working with an oromancer to find Ciri in the multiverse and give her an anchor to come back home. And it's really cool how he sprinkled that story throughout the final book to lead her towards coming home for the final act of that story. Well, we do see a couple flashbacks to her as a young woman in a couple scenes, like with the Blackfish's character. Blackfish's character is someone who interacts with the young version of her, but her young version is only in one small half scene to such a degree that it's more an extra than an actual casting announcement. That's why I believe this isn't just them casting this young version of her. This is actually going to be the real version of her, because you wouldn't announce an extra. You announce the real version of her. Are you ready to see, Dre, who this middle-aged woman, white woman, prominent in English mythology is being played by, who's in a sexual relationship with an ugly man? You ready for what she's going to
I'm ready.
like?
I'm ready.
She's 16 years old. A 16-year-old Asian chick is playing. This is a great fan art of what she's supposed to look like with the Fisher King.
I'm confused.
It's bunch
What's
of
going on here?
POs here going on.
What's going on?
That's what this
Wait,
is.
is the actress still 16?
Yes, the actress is 16 as of right now.
Oh no!
There's a reason I said
POs.
Harvey Weinstein a few times.
POs.
Oh my god! This is not. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like that at all.
Even if they've extended her flashbacks, that should be just one half scene into a full character arc. They still race swap the character, which is bad.
Wait a minute. Rewind for a hot second. They're going. Wait a minute. Wait. Okay.
It's catching up to him now.
Wait a minute. So the character marries an older gentleman.
Is in a relationship with an older.
In a relationship with an older gentleman. Okay.
I mean, she's also older. She's the same age. Like she's
got it.
She's much
got
older.
it. So this is my next question. In the lore, is she an adult?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody call the police.
POs.
Her age is kind of ambiguous because she's a borderline mythological figure. You know, I mean, like she could be hundreds of years old. Like
the character.
Yeah, the character in the books. It's kind of ambiguous because she's the Lady of the Lake. She is a little bit larger than life type person, but it's generally to believe that she's in her 40s in the story in Lady of the Lake. They do flash back to her as an 18-year-old for like half a scene, but it's so minute that you wouldn't announce the casting announcement.
So this baby is in this film, and they're gonna call the police.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
This is all speculation. At the end of the day, this is terrible casting. It's a race swap and an age swap, making her way too young.
If this casting is true,
they might not.
Call the police.
Oh, it is true. Let me switch back to this. In this video, they have her in this video reading her lines. Let me see.
She's doing line reads.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying this isn't just the extra. It's Twitter video. Let me refresh. But yeah, you wouldn't have someone who's virtually an extra doing line reads at a table read. Let me see if I can find her. She's actually very early on in it. Let me.
This is just continuing disturbing lines.
Oh no,
that's a little girl.
Oh, that's not good.
She don't look 16. Are you sure she's 16?
Yeah, this could have been filmed several months ago, but yeah, the actress.
God.
Right here, let me switch back to this page. It says she's 16 right here.
So she's 16 now. Did this joint start filming?
Yeah, it's filming right now. Just
no.
Still a child though.
Oh, Dre don't like that. Oh no.
Yes. Seeing
this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like.
It looks bad. They have to change the story and get rid of the Fisher King sexual relationship with her to make this almost okay. Even if they did that, it's still a race swap of a prominent English mythology figure, which is bad enough.
Yeah, that's bad enough. But now you're putting kids in sexual situations?
With
what are we doing?
Possibly.
This is a pretty accurate representation. Yeah. This guy's actually more attractive than he's described in the books. Like he's described as the ugliest fat man you've ever come across. Harvey Weinstein would be perfect to play the Fisher King.
So are they just doing this for the sake of a virtue signal?
Yes, of course.
That's not good, man.
It's virtue signal like race swap, and it's degeneracy for her age.
See, my thing is this: there's been plenty of actresses that have played teenage girls in film like that. I don't have. I mean, it's creepy,
they're usually 25 though.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad about thinking because I know the actress is 25.
This is a child. This is a child playing an adult. I don't like that at all.
Well, she might not be playing an adult. They just might change her age and being like, "Oh, she's 16 now."
Whatever. If this baby is in sexual situations, I'm calling the cops. I'm calling the police. I don't care who you paid off. You ain't gonna be touching babies on my watch. That's not gonna happen. I don't like that. Isn't this whole thing? Wasn't a whole push about protecting children and getting rid of these creepy monster people? But now you're gonna feed the baby right to the crazies.
They don't care. They never cared. never
What
did.
is
It's
wrong with
all
I'm
people?
glad I'm not the only one who thought this looked really, really bad.
No, this is
it's all about
gross.
agenda. It's all about using whatever tools, and it's also a normalization of certain things that we have been alluding
I don't
to
like
here.
that. I don't like that at
Normalization.
all.
Normalization. So
Uh-uh.
Witcher's fucked. It's well and truly fucked. I know that this is separate from the book that is being
Very
written.
separate.
That is a we're not even that is going to probably be just fine. As
I'm
you said
excited
earlier,
for that.
yeah. Their next game, there's a lot of watchful eyes
Mhm.
on CD Projekt Red because there is no trust in CD Projekt Red anymore. That's gone. That's been
Yeah, that's gone.
that's at the bottom of the Atlantic.
Mhm.
And now the TV show was a thing that never was and never will be, and will now have something very questionable possibly happening in it, like this. Uh, read the
Well,
books, play
there's
the
the
games that
anime
exist.
as well.
I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, the anime Sirens of the Deep, where they don't know what the difference between sirens and mermaids are.
They had a chance to just. I mean, Jed, you've explained this in the past, so I'm pretty sure I understand it. They could have done something monumental with The Witcher overall.
Absolutely.
Let's get her off the screen. I don't want to see her anymore. Let's get her away here. Okay. They had a chance to adapt the books and tell the story before the games,
Mm-hmm.
and then adapt the games.
Yes.
And you could have gone for good. Probably. Let's see. I mean, how many seasons per book do you think you could have? Like, I mean, they butchered what they've done now, which was their
Right.
attempt at the books.
I actually agree with their initial decision to combine the first two collections of short stories. That makes sense to me because, yeah, they're short stories. So that one's fine. And then Season of Storms, I don't even know if they have rights to. That's a prequel that was written in 2013. So there's that out of the way. And then there's 5 novels. So they could get 6 seasons before they got to the games.
All right, so set 6 seasons in the games. See, first game, one season. It's not an overly complicated or deep game. Second
I'd say
one,
the first 2 you could do in one season.
maybe. I would have liked the second game to be a season all on its own.
The second game is phenomenal. The first game's rough, especially from a lore
the
standpoint.
controls are just so bad.
Oh, they're terrible.
They're
But
terrible.
there's another Elder Blood child in the first game, and that is bad. That is not good. And on an equivocal scale of power to Ciri, and that's not okay lore wise.
But I would say they could have done. I would say do the second game of its own season, because you would have to kind of blend the fact that you can't, where it's 2 different stories, a choose your own adventure thing where you choose one side. They would have had to find a way to blend it to make it work as things, so that you get the good elements from both kinds of the story. That would have been a full season. And then Witcher 3, that's 3 seasons. That's 3, maybe 4 seasons, with how much content there is in that one game. Because you got the base game, which can be easily divided to 3 seasons, and then you have the DLCs, which can either be 1 season or 2 seasons. So
I don't see them doing Hearts of Stone.
yeah, because that's kind of more of an add-on, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't see either of them as being good for DLCs. I mean, good for their own seasons.
You know what I mean, though? There's a lot. So they could have had probably a total of anywhere between 10 and 12 seasons of this stuff. They could have. Oh, goddamn it. All right. So they missed it completely on this. They missed it completely.
Hey, yo, are you feeling what I'm doing up in here? Oh, I know you are. Do you miss all the good, compelling stories that we used to get back in Hollywood that they ain't putting down no more? Oh, I know you missing it. So check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues, baby. Book 1, Down in Flames. Book 2, Apocalypse Then. These are currently on sale. What are you waiting for? Get your hands on them. And we got Book 3, Kill the Dark, is coming down the pipeline. Just wait for all the good stuff that's dropping. You ain't gonna be disappointed, fam.